The night was unusually quiet in the city that never slept. The sudden death of the beloved Pope during an international peace conference had cast a pall over the world. Known for his tireless efforts to promote peace and his deep compassion for the oppressed, his demise was not just a loss for the Church but for humanity itself. News channels were abuzz with tributes, and social media was flooded with messages of condolence from people of all faiths. Among the mourners was a young journalist, Michael, who had often been cynical about religious institutions. Yet the Pope's death stirred something within him. Tasked with covering the funeral, he arrived at the Vatican, feeling the weight of sorrow that hung heavy in the air. As he maneuvered through the crowd, Michael couldn't help but notice the diverse gathering, people from different corners of the earth, speaking various languages, all united in grief. The Pope's coffin lay in state, adorned with simple flowers, a testament to his humble nature. As Michael took notes, observing the mourners, he caught sight of a faint, almost ethereal figure near the grave. It was a silhouette that seemed both out of place and entirely fitting in the somber setting. The figure, an angelic presence, appeared to a little girl who had strayed from her mother. The child looked up, eyes wide with wonder, then ran back to her mother, tugging at her hand, whispering earnestly about an angel who spoke of peace. Curious and skeptical, Michael decided to delve deeper. He approached the child, who described the angel as a radiant figure with a soothing voice, talking about the Pope watching over them. Michael penned down the story, his journalistic instincts tingling with the hint of something more profound at play. This mysterious sighting would be just the beginning of a series of supernatural encounters tied to the Pope's death, each revealing fragments of a larger hidden truth that the world was not yet ready to understand. As he prepared to explore this curious phenomenon further, Michael felt a change within himself. The skepticism that had colored his view of the world was slowly being chipped away by the stories of faith and miracles that seemed to emanate from the Pope's passing. This journey, he realized, might just redefine his understanding of faith, truth, and the divine intervention that guides the human fate. As Michael delved into the mysterious appearances of the grave angel, more accounts began to surface. People from different backgrounds and beliefs reported similar encounters. Each described a serene figure providing comfort, guidance, or sometimes a warning. These encounters often occurred at moments of personal crisis or moral doubt, suggesting that the angel's visits were not random but deeply intentional. Intrigued by the pattern, Michael started to document each story, tracing the angel's appearances back to the Vatican where the Pope was buried. His investigation led him to an elderly priest, Father Lorenzo, who had served closely with the Pope for decades. The priest shared stories of the Pope's lesser-known life, his quiet visits to war-torn areas, secret mediation meetings between conflicting parties, and his profound sadness over the unresolved pains of the world. Father Lorenzo revealed that the Pope had always believed in angels as messengers of God, tasked with guiding humanity in its darkest hours. He suggested that perhaps the Pope's own spirit was involved, reaching out through these appearances to continue his work even after death. This revelation added a new layer to Michael's story, intertwining the mystical with the tangible legacy of the Pope. Armed with this new understanding, Michael returned to the places where sightings of the grave angel had been reported. He spoke to a woman who had been on the brink of suicide but changed her mind after a comforting encounter with the angel. A former soldier turned peace activist shared his story of meeting the spectral figure at a memorial where he was inspired to forgive himself and others for past violence. Each story was different, yet they all carried a common thread of transformation and revelation, linked by the Pope's enduring influence. Michael found himself more affected with each interview, the cynicism that had once shielded him now crumbling under the weight of these profound human experiences. His articles began to reflect a deeper, more introspective tone, attracting a growing readership captivated by the blend of the miraculous and the human. As Michael's articles gained traction, he noticed a shift in public sentiment. The stories of the grave angel were sparking discussions about faith, redemption, and the power of unseen forces. Encouraged by this response, Michael decided to dig even deeper into the mystery, seeking to understand the full extent of the Pope's secret that seemed to be slowly unveiling itself through these celestial interventions. One evening, as he pored over the Pope's writings and notes left behind in his private chambers, Michael stumbled upon references to an ancient manuscript, a document said to be handed down through generations of church leaders, known only to a select few. The Pope had mentioned this manuscript in vague terms during his lifetime, hinting at its profound implications for the future. Intrigued, Michael sought Father Lorenzo's help to locate it. After much persuasion, Father Lorenzo agreed to show Michael the manuscript, kept in a secret archive beneath the Vatican. The document was written in an ancient script, its pages yellowed with age but meticulously preserved. It contained predictions and prophecies about major world events, some that had already come to pass and others yet to unfold. Among the predictions, Michael found a cryptic passage about a shepherd who would become a beacon in the darkest times, guiding the lost flock back to light. This passage seemed to describe the Pope's role and his untimely death as part of a larger divine plan. The manuscript prophesied that the shepherd's passing would trigger a series of events leading to a significant global awakening. Armed with this explosive information, Michael realized the grave angel's appearances could be interpreted as signs heralding the next phase of the prophecy. This connection between the Pope's death, the angelic visits, and the ancient predictions suggested that something monumental was about to happen, something that could change the course of human history. Fueled by the gravity of his discoveries, Michael prepared to publish his most impactful article yet. He planned to reveal the existence of the manuscript and its prophecies, framing it within the context of the angelic sightings and their profound impact on those who had witnessed them. As he wrote, he felt a profound sense of responsibility. His words would soon awaken the world to a new reality, guided by the spirit of a leader whose influence transcended his earthly existence. Michael's article hit the stands and quickly went viral, sending ripples through communities worldwide. His detailed account of the Pope's secret manuscript and the mysterious grave angel not only fascinated readers but also sparked a wave of spiritual and philosophical debates across various platforms. Scholars, theologians, and skeptics alike delved into discussions, each trying to decipher the implications of the prophecies and the real nature of the angelic appearances. As the story spread, more people came forward with their encounters with the grave angel, each adding a piece to the puzzle. These testimonials brought comfort and awe, but also a sense of urgency, as many began to believe in the significant change the prophecies foretold. Amidst this global awakening, a major peace summit was organized, inspired by the Pope's teachings and the spirit of unity that his posthumous influence had spurred. World leaders, previously at odds, now sat together negotiating with a renewed focus on compromise and understanding. It seemed as if the Pope's vision was orchestrating a newfound harmony from beyond the grave. During the summit, Michael was invited to speak about his findings and the profound impact of his articles. Standing before an audience of global influencers, he shared not just the facts of his investigation, but also the personal transformation he had undergone. He talked about the cynicism with which he had viewed the world and how the stories of hope and redemption had reshaped his beliefs. His speech was met with a standing ovation, and it became clear that his journey had mirrored the broader shift in societal attitudes. The summit concluded with several significant agreements, hailed as miraculous, given the previous standstills. These were seen not just as political successes, but as manifestations of the prophecy unfolding. Emboldened by the success and the palpable change in the air, Michael continued to follow the stories of the grave angel, each one reaffirming the message of peace and reconciliation. His ongoing reports not only documented this unique period in history but also inspired others to seek and spread the message of hope and unity, proving that the influence of one righteous leader could indeed extend far beyond his time on earth. In the months following the Peace Summit, the world saw tangible improvements in international relations and community cohesion. Michael's continuous coverage of the grave angel phenomena and the unfolding of the Pope's prophecies helped maintain momentum for global peace initiatives. His work had transformed from standard journalism into a chronicle of a spiritual and societal awakening. 1 year after the Pope's death, Michael decided to commemorate the anniversary with a special documentary, aiming to capture the lasting impact of the Pope's legacy and the mysterious angelic visits. He traveled across the globe, interviewing people who had experienced the grave angel's visitations, collecting stories of hope, forgiveness, and change. As he gathered these powerful testimonies, Michael also explored how the angels' messages had influenced people's daily lives. He spoke with community leaders who had initiated interfaith dialogues, charity workers who had doubled their efforts in humanitarian aid, and individuals who had altered their life paths entirely, inspired by the encounters. The documentary featured stunning visuals of the Vatican, serene scenes from the places where the angel had appeared, and intimate interviews with those who had been touched by the phenomenon. It also included analysis from theologians and historians who provided context to the ancient manuscript and its prophecies, offering viewers a deeper understanding of this remarkable chapter in human history. As the documentary concluded, Michael reflected on his own journey. The skepticism that had once defined his worldview had given way to a broader, more inclusive perspective. He realized that his role was not just to inform, but to connect and uplift, providing a platform for stories that could heal and inspire. The release of the documentary coincided with a global vigil held in honor of the Pope. People from all walks of life gathered in various locations, lighting candles and sharing moments of silence, prayer, and reflection. The gatherings were peaceful, marked by a sense of unity and hope that transcended cultural and religious boundaries. In the documentary's final scene, Michael returned to the Vatican, standing by the Pope's grave. The setting was tranquil, the early morning light casting long shadows across the hallowed ground. As he concluded his narration, viewers saw a fleeting glimpse of the grave angel in the background, its presence a subtle nod to the ongoing spiritual guidance the Pope continued to offer. With this poignant ending, Michael's documentary not only honored a leader's legacy, but also underscored the enduring power of faith and the impact of unseen forces in shaping human destiny. The film was acclaimed for its heartfelt storytelling and its role in fostering a continued commitment to global peace and understanding, proving that the spirit of the Pope lived on, guiding humanity towards a brighter, more united future. Following the success of the documentary and the continued interest in the grave angel phenomenon, Michael found himself at the center of a new, unexpected chapter in his career. He became a sought-after speaker on spirituality, peace, and the power of journalism in uncovering profound truths. His speeches often emphasized the role of faith and unity in overcoming global challenges, resonating deeply with audiences around the world. Inspired by the widespread impact of his work, Michael established a foundation dedicated to promoting interfaith dialogue and supporting peace initiatives across the globe. The foundation, aptly named after the Pope, funded projects that brought together people from different backgrounds to work on community development, education, and conflict resolution. As the foundation grew, Michael collaborated with other organizations and leaders inspired by the Pope's teachings. Together, they launched a series of workshops and conferences that addressed pressing global issues such as poverty, inequality, and environmental sustainability, all framed within the context of spiritual and moral responsibility. Meanwhile, reports of the grave angel's appearances continued, each story unique yet unified by a common theme of hope and renewal. These stories were regularly featured in the Foundation's publications, serving as a continual reminder of the mystical connection shared by those who had experienced the angel's presence. One particularly touching story came from a young girl in a war-torn country who had seen the grave angel at a time when her family was hiding from conflict. The angel's message of peace and reassurance inspired her community to open dialogue with their adversaries, leading to a local ceasefire that had seemed impossible. This story, among others, was featured in a special anniversary issue of the Foundation's magazine, celebrating the ongoing legacy of the Pope and the mysterious angel. As the Foundation's influence expanded, Michael's personal life also transformed. He met and married a fellow peace activist, and together they traveled, spreading the message of reconciliation and mutual understanding. Their partnership strengthened Michael's resolve to continue his work, fueled by a shared commitment to making a tangible difference in the world. Years later, Michael decided to write a book detailing his journey from a cynical journalist to a pivotal figure in global peace efforts. The book, titled Echoes of the Angel, delved into his personal transformations, the profound stories he had covered, and the enduring influence of the Pope and the grave angel. It became an international bestseller, widely praised for its honest introspection and hopeful vision. In the final chapters of his life, Michael remained dedicated to his mission. He often visited the Vatican, where it all began, reflecting on the mysterious paths life had taken him on. The Pope's grave became a place of deep significance for him, a site of contemplation and renewal. Michael's legacy, like that of the Pope he once covered, became a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of faith and the human spirit to transcend the greatest of adversities. His life's work continued to inspire generations, ensuring that the messages of the grave angel would resonate far into the future, guiding others as they navigated the complexities of the human experience. As Michael's life drew to a close, his foundation had become a pillar of global peace efforts, with branches and initiatives active in over 50 countries. His book, Echoes of the Angel, continued to inspire new generations, used in educational programs and peace workshops worldwide. His story of transformation and the ongoing narrative of the grave angel had become a part of the modern spiritual and cultural lexicon, symbolizing the eternal quest for peace and understanding. In his final days, Michael reflected on the journey that had started with a simple assignment at the Vatican. Now, surrounded by family, friends, and followers from around the world, he felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The Peace Summit that had marked the turning point of his career was commemorated annually, and on its 10th anniversary, a special event was planned to honor both the memory of the Pope and Michael's contributions. During this event, world leaders, spiritual guides, and peace activists gathered to discuss the progress made and the challenges remaining. They shared stories of reconciliation and tales of communities transformed by the principles Michael had championed. The highlight of the ceremony was the unveiling of a sculpture depicting the Pope and the grave angel, symbolically watching over a group of children from diverse backgrounds playing together. As the sculpture was unveiled, many reported feeling a gentle breeze and a sense of warmth, as if affirmed by an unseen presence. This moment was captured and widely shared, reigniting interest in the angelic appearances in Michael's work. After Michael's passing, his foundation established an annual award in his name, given to individuals or organizations that demonstrated significant progress towards global peace and interfaith dialogue. His family, especially his children, continued to run the foundation, ensuring that his legacy would endure. The story of the grave angel became a legend, told and retold in various forms, books, films, and plays, each adaptation adding to the lore but always rooted in the themes of Michael's original encounters. These stories served as a reminder of the power of faith and the impact one individual can have on the world. Michael's grave, located near the Pope's in the Vatican, became a site of pilgrimage for those seeking peace and solace. People from all over the world visited, leaving letters of gratitude, flowers, and symbols of peace. Each item told a story of a life touched by Michael's work and the mysterious angel he had once sought to understand. His epitaph, chosen by his family, read, "Here lies a man who followed the echo of an angel, and in doing so, he moved the world." This simple phrase encapsulated his life's journey, a journey that had begun with doubt and ended with the world a little more united and hopeful. Thus, the legacy of Michael, intertwined with the enigmatic grave angel and the revered Pope, continued to inspire peace and faith, echoing through time as a beacon of hope for future generations, seeking to understand the profound connections that bind humanity together.
Subscribe and press the bell icon so that you never miss the amazing video.